Tokyo Olympics, stopping athletes taking the knee unenforceable, British sprinter Dina Asher-Smith says.
Here's a summary of the article.
Stopping athletes taking the knee at the Tokyo Olympics would be completely unenforceable, Dina Asher-Smith has said. The International Olympic Committee had no choice when it decided to roll back restrictions banning demonstrations, the track star said. The regulation states that no kind of demonstration or political, religious or racial propaganda is permitted in any Olympic sites, venues or other areas. If you were to penalize someone for standing up against racial inequality, how on earth would that go? How on earth are you going to enforce that? She said. Footballers have been taking the knee as part of worldwide protests against racism which began following the murder of a black man, George Floyd, by a white police officer in Minneapolis last year. Some of the Olympics' most iconic moments have been the Black Power salute by Tommie Smith, she said. That is something people remember the Olympics for, something they're very proud to see at the Olympic Games.
This post received a score of 6,700, with an upvote ratio of 92%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Greater than, it's unenforceable because many athletes, especially runners, have to take the knee to get into the starting position, said Smith.
The IOC slightly adjusted the rules earlier in the month so that, IOC ref, BBC article.
Muslims in judo often refuse to fight Israelis. One already happened and it's the first day. How's that for an unenforceable ban on political statements?
I thought they'd like the opportunity to judo flip some Jews. Edit. That was sarcasm, guys.
Thing is, since it's an international competition, that more or less acknowledges Israel as a legitimate state, which is unacceptable to some competing countries.
Yeah, I was being sarcastic.
Yes, it's unenforceable to stop. But just like what happened in 1968, the Olympics will probably ban you and strip your medal.
Can we have your medals back? No.
I care less and less about the Olympics the older I get.
I tuned in on network television and the quantity of ads reminded me why network television is unwatchable. That and the athlete bios, there is hardly any sport on the Olympics broadcast.
Set your VPN to Canada and watch it on CBC.
I wonder what the response would be if the political statement was an Armenian giving the finger to an Azeri.
No, only American cultural issues are allowed. Rest of the world can go FK themselves. Even Americans I disagree with should be banned.
Sadly, that's where this thread has gone in actual response, hasn't it? Sad to say the least.
Poe's law strikes again. If it hadn't been for my other comments and the everyone would have assumed that I was serious. Reddit is better than any psychology classroom.
That Jesse Owens, what an unpatriotic rabble-rouser.
Forget the knee. Imagine if they were displaying support for the Uyghurs. Yeah, you could quickly end up with a diplomatic event that completely overshadows the Olympics. Imagine if an anti-Israel protest was performed on the podium, you'd be in for a shitstorm then.
Unemployed athletes making billions for the networks and economies while they try to make ends meet. Lol. Such a scam.
All else is bullshit. This is the real issue. It's not about equality or even equity, it's about dividing and profiting off it.
Anyone else not interested in the Olympics this year? Like, this is the first Olympics where I haven't watched the opening ceremony and I have gone through the day forgetting the Olympics are even on.
It's still taking a lot of the mental real estate of many people. Also, politics nosing around this from athletes not willing to vaccinate. People protesting about games should not be taking place at all. Masks, safety measures, etc. Big names like Phelps and Bolt have retired, so there's no big expectation for many competitions, unless you know about specific sports taking place in the Olympics. The only reason this is taking place is to avoid financial compensations to sponsors and TV networks among other people. So everything is being done by the minimum to get done with it already.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.